What up, YouTube? Timmy's here. Since this month, I'm doing my reviews for February films. Here is my review for the Adam Sandler film, Just Go With It. Now, Just Go With It, premiered back on February 11th, 2011, and believe it or not, today, Just Go With It just turned 10 years old. And here you got Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. And you got Adam Sandler, who plays this plastic surgeon named Danny McAbee, who ends up pretending to be married so that way he could enjoy future dates with no strings attached. Because when he was 22 years old, he ends up leaving his wedding right before the ceremony is about to begin. After learning that, because he ended up learning that his fiance has been cheating on him. And that she was only marrying because he was going to be a doctor. And, yeah, so, he ends up going to a bar alone where he meets this young, beautiful woman played by Minka Kelly. And she ends up seeing that Denny has a wedding ring on his hand and he ends up talking about, his wife and stuff like that. And so since then, he pretty much pretends to be married. But his lies come up to him when he ends up meeting this beautiful woman named Palmer, played by Brooklyn Decker, who is supposed to be like the girl of his dreams. And she ends up resisting involvement instead. It's pretty much, she ends up, seeing the wedding ring and thinks that, Danny is pretty much cheating on her, cheating, on his wife and stuff like that. But he ends up doing another lie, saying that, they're, getting divorced and everything. But she resists, she pretty much, resists, involvement. So Danny ends up enlisting, Catherine, played by Jennifer Aniston, who's, his assistant. She posed as his soon-to-be ex-wife. Instead of solving, Danny's problems, the lies also creates more trouble. And not to mention, it turns out that, of course, Catherine does have kids here too, and now Palmer wants to meet the kids as well. And the kids, by the way, are played by Bailey Madison, who you might know from the Fosters fame, and the son here is played by Griffin Luke, who was recently seen on that show, on the Netflix show American Vandal. But anyway, this movie is a hilarious one. You also had Nick Swartzen, who actually plays Sandler's best friend here, who ends up pretending to be a character named who disguised as this Australian guy named Dolph Lundgren. Yes, that Dolph Lundgren. And so he's pretty much pretending to be Catherine's guy that she's sleeping with and all. And so they decided to also now go on a trip to Hawaii because Catherine's son, Michael, wants to, play with the dolphins and all. So they take a trip to Hawaii because, according to Adam Sandler, he likes doing these films because it's like a paid vacation. So, hey, whatever turns you on, But that aside, now the movie is directed by Dennis Dugan, who of course directed loads of Sandler movies, such as Big Daddy. He did Happy Gilmore. He did the Grown-Ups movies. The same year this film got released, Dennis Dugan also gave us Jack and Jill. An interesting filmmaker right there. Anyway, the film also had some other interesting cast members here too. You had Brooklyn Decker, by the way. Oh man, I mean, she's probably one of the most hottest love interests that Adam Sandler has ever had in his films. But, Brooklyn Decker obviously is a real life model, and Brooklyn Decker I thought was awesome in this. You also had Nicole Kidman, who plays Jennifer Aniston's arch rival named Devlin Adams. You had Dave Matthews. Rachel Dratch was in this. You had Keegan-Michael Key, Minka Kelly, Heidi Montag. Sandler's real life wife actually played, I guess to say, the woman that he was gonna marry in the beginning. But yeah, you even had a little cameo by Andy Roddick, who I believe Brooklyn Decker and him was married or was dating at the time. But that aside, this movie it's a really fun one. Jennifer Aniston, by the way, that woman is in her 40s, and there was a scene with her wearing a bikini and stuff like that. Jennifer Aniston, what the heck has she been eating throughout all these years? That woman still looks good. You know? The one who plays the kids was pretty good. Billy Madison, I think she's an actress to keep your eye out for. She was really solid in this. Griffin Luke stole lots of scenes. Like I said, the movie did not really get well received. It does of course have it has a 90% Rotten Tomatoes, so yeah, not really the right ones. I mean, probably my favorite reviews, even though I did like it and all. But one of my favorite reviews is a little bit of a negative review, and that's probably Richard Roper's review for this. His review for this movie is actually pretty funny. But that aside, yeah, this film, while it did not even do so well in the box office either. It only made like $215 million. Not so great. Of course, Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston will later go on to reteam again for the movie Murder Mystery, which I thought was a pretty decent film. But yeah, if you guys haven't really seen Just Go With It, it's a really hilarious one. It's probably not one of my favorite Sandler movies or anything, but it's definitely really heartwarming. The Hawaii stuff is pretty decent. The chemistry between Sandler and Catherine's kids in this was pretty decent. I mean, if you guys have not really seen Just Go With It, I'm not really sure where you can find it. You can probably find it somewhere online. Let's see. You can watch on Pluto TV. That's where you can find it. But it's a pretty decent, cute, charm one. I thought it was on Netflix as well. But anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever seen the Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston movie Just Go With It? If so, what's the story? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? What was your favorite parts in it? And which love interest do you think Sandler worked better with? Drew Barrymore or Jennifer Aniston? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Timothy signing out.